you have a dusty old CV, and you expect that this CV is going to land you a job. It's not going to land you a job in 2022. If your CV is old and dusty, it doesn't matter how good you are, because you see what used to happen 10 years ago. Recruiters were not putting a lot of emphasis on on the CV, but today in 2022, someone is going to look at your CV, someone is going to look at your LinkedIn profile, someone is going to go to your social media, and all these things are going to play a role in them deciding, do we want to interview this person or not? So that we are able to adapt that the job market has significantly changed in 2022. Your CV, your LinkedIn profile, your cover letter is extremely important. Who you are on online, Nelima, in 2022 is so important. So that then I can get your CV, go on your Instagram, see something that will completely nullify or discredit you, and a recruiter is not going to call you for an interview. Someone is going to go on your LinkedIn profile and decide, oh, I want to interview this person. Again, there are people in 2022 who say that they're job seekers and you don't have a LinkedIn profile. I find it very disgraceful. Like, how? For me, it's like walking around naked. How don't you not have a LinkedIn profile? And you see, like, having a LinkedIn profile is one thing, but having an active LinkedIn profile is another. So you cannot afford to be a job seeker in 2022 and you do not have an active LinkedIn profile. You cannot afford to be a job seeker in 2022 and you don't know how to use Zoom, because there are people who've gotten Zoom interviews and they are so good at what they do, but then you on your Zoom you cannot even locate your mic. You're asked to share your screen, you don't know how to share your screen, you don't know how to mute your mic. They're not going to hire you because of just those small things. Or you've gone for an interview and behind you someone can see clothes and Nivea and Vaseline, and it's just like not professional at all. So what I would say is, the work that we do, we help with a lot of personal branding. So I work closely with individuals to improve their personal brand. And for me, when I think about a personal brand, especially as far as career is concerned, it's your CV, it's your LinkedIn profile, it's your cover letter. It's the first thing that an interviewer is going to see before they meet Nelima. So how do you present yourself during an interview? The way you dress, the way you speak. Are you looking the interviewers in the eye? Are you demonstrating your knowledge in this job that you're applying to? Are you coming across as someone who did their research and their homework about this organization and this interview before coming in? Because it's such a shame when you go for an interview and I ask you, tell us something about our organization, and you don't know, like you have no clue. You could have gone for an interview in an oil and gas company and you think it's an FMCG. They ask you, do you have any questions for us? You have no question. They ask you, so what is your salary expectation? You did not do your research to find out for this particular role how much do they pay, so that then you're able to quote a figure. Because if you don't do your research, then you'll either underquote, of which they are going to happily give you the amount of money. Because then if you say that your expected salary is 10,000 and the budget was 50, will they give you 50? Absolutely not. They're going to give you that 10,000. And then again, if you go for an interview and their budget was 100,000 and you say that your expected salary is 500,000, will you even smell that candidate? Absolutely not. So you need to do your research. So that things have changed, that the job market has changed, and it's continuing to change. And what particularly what COVID did was almost catapult us to the future. So I feel like we are probably 3-5 years ahead of where we were supposed to be. So many interviews are being done online, so many people are being hired on LinkedIn. There's a software called an ATS software. ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. So there are certain organizations, you're not going to you're not going to make the list if you do not apply for that job using an ATS friendly CV. So there are people sitting home wondering, why are my applications, all my applications, like I never get any callbacks? It's because you're using a different format to apply to those organizations. And if your CV is not ATS compliant, it's never going to make the cut. So things are changing. The other thing that I know is going to be very dominant in the coming years is a video CV. I think we are going to get into times where employers are going to ask for a written CV. They tell you, like, send me like a 3-minute video explaining who you are and why you want to work for organization, which is actually something that has started in the West, and even certain organizations are locally. So you see how if you don't even have a LinkedIn profile, how are you going to do a video CV? So I feel like the job market is changing very rapidly, but then there are many people who are refusing to change and adapt. They are still thinking that, I'm very good at what I do. My CV is 57 pages. In 2022, if your CV is long, is more than 4 pages, there's no recruiter who is wasting time on it, because on average, a recruiter is going to spend about 6 seconds on your CV. So in 6 seconds, are you able to capture their attention or not? Whether you feel it's unfair or not unfair, this is what is happening.